Hey guys, Bill's Custom Bricks here, and I'm back with another LEGO set review. Now it's been a little bit since my last video, but I thought I'd get back into the swing of things. I have with me the Rancor Pit, which retailed at a whopping 60 bucks in 2013. Now I find this pretty crazy because it's only 380 pieces when the new leaked Mandalorian Starfighter is just above 400, which is just crazy to see something at this scale have less pieces than a little starfighter that looks so tiny. I thought it fitting to start reviewing some of Jabba's palace because we just recently got the Book of Boba Fett finale, and we just got leaked photos of Bib Fortuna's palace. So I said, hey, why not? It's perfect timing. And without further ado, let's review this set. So in terms of figures for this $60 set, we have a pretty nice lineup that's accurate to the movie and to the scene. We have first with us Return of the Jedi Luke with a bone. Malak Healy, which is this guy's name. He is the Rancor's tamer. We have a Gamorrean guard, we have a skeleton, and we have the man himself, the Rancor. So starting off this lineup of figures, we have the Rancor Pit Luke. Now this is a nice variation from the other Return of the Jedi Lukes that we get in other sets, and I think it just looks like a very nice figure. The print is very simple, but it's very accurate to his clothes in the film. I wish there was some leg printing, but it was 2013. They weren't really getting into too much of that. And we can see that he comes with his long bone that he sticks in between the Rancor's mouth to stop him from eating him. I think this is a really accurate and nice touch, and I'm thankful that LEGO just didn't go the route of going cheap and just handed him his lightsaber. Sometimes they like to do that. They like to give the characters weapons that they don't have in the scene. So I'm thankful they gave us something a little bit different and something much more accurate than just his lightsaber. Next up, we have Mal Keeley, which is a very interesting name I didn't know existed until I looked it up. You can see he's got his front print here and his back print. Very nice, very detailed. Nothing scuffed, nothing missing. Let's look under the hood. You can see his concerned face and his sad face. The sad face is when the Rancor gets trapped underneath the door after Luke closes it on his head. Very sad scene. I feel very bad for this guy after what we learned about Rancors in the Book of Boba Fett, that they're very empathetic creatures. You can also see that he comes with his little scythe weapon. And that's all there really is to this figure. Nothing too crazy, nothing too simple, but overall just a nice little figure to add to the set. Very accurate to the scene. I think is a really nice touch. Now next up we have the Gamorrean Guard. Now this is the same Gamorrean Guard that came in Jabba's palace. I think it's just super simple and super nice, and I'm glad that they just gave the same mold and the same prints over to this set instead of making a new one. You can see here that he has his cloth as his leg print. Nothing really extraordinary about this figure except that it just looks cool, and I am stoked to get one in the new Bib Fortuna's palace coming out. Hopefully I will grab it March 1st. If not, I'll do a review later when I do have it. Next up, we have this skeleton. Nothing too particularly different or new or interesting. It's just a skeleton. He sits next to the barrel in the Rancor Pit. I'll show you when we review the set itself. Who can go wrong with just a simple skeleton, really? And lastly, we have this beautifully molded, beautifully printed Big Fig Rancor. This is a really, really cool Big Fig. I'm so glad to be reviewing it because hopefully, I'm hoping that we will get a Rancor mold for the Scorpionex versus Rancor set. Hopefully, if you've seen the finale of Boba Fett, you know what I'm talking about. Really hope we get something like that, even if it is brick built. I just kind of have this hope they'll do the effort and they will mold this thing, and I really, really hope they do. But hey, if it's brick built, I'm not going to complain. Either way, we're getting a Rancor. You can see here these two little studs here at the top. I don't know what they're for. Maybe for Mal Keeley to stand up on, to ride even. This mouthpiece is really nice. It opens all the way. And I believe one of the features is that you can stick a figure into this. Maybe not the whole figure. This Gamorrean guard is not a good example. But maybe someone like the skeleton. Someone. It goes halfway. The legs stick out, which we have seen in both the show and the movie. I think that's kind of just going to be a cool thing to have. If you want to display it, stick the Gamorrean guard in there, have his legs sticking out. If we look over here, we can see this little chain thing that is attaching to his wrists. And looking at both the arms, they have his fingers, which are exclusively molded pieces for the set, which are pretty cool. It gives him a super realistic look from the movie. And I think overall, this has got to be one of my favorite big figs ever made. And now for the set. Now this is a really cool Rancor Pit. It sits nice and snug underneath Jabba's palace with these little spikes here. You can sit it right on top. There's little holes underneath Jabba's palace. And it fits right underneath the hole, which Jabba drops Luke through. Overall, the size of it is pretty nice. You can fit the Rancor right in the middle. He fits perfect. And you can see here that they have the gate and the door for Mali Kili to walk through. Now let's get to the features of this set. Starting off, we can see the door has a little lever here. And what this is for is you can raise up the door, push this in, and it will lock the door in place. So if you're looking to recreate a scene, you can just put the Rancor in there and drop it down. It hits him right in the head. So pretty cool play feature. I love that they added this. And you can even see the little button that Luke hits to drop this. So if you want to act it out with your figures, you can have him hit this and drop this door down. Now this whole door piece actually moves out from the set itself, just to give you a more open play area. And we can see here on the edge, we have a pitchfork, a bucket, and a key. This key normally goes with Malkili. You can see it in the instruction manual for this set. So it's cool to give him his own little room. And I believe this is actually the door from the scene where Luke tries to get out, but everyone's blocking him and he can't get through. And this is also the door which Malkili walks out to see the Rancor dead. Now right here we can see this little bucket, and this is where you can grab your skeleton and just rest him down like this. And there should be a bone, but we'll get to that later. And speaking of bone, if we lift up this little skeleton head, it lifts up a plate where you can hide little pieces in here. For instance, this bone piece. A really cool little detail. It's not in any part of the movie, but it is a really nice detail to add. I think it is pretty cool. And lastly, for play features, we have this little hideaway. I don't know what purpose or function this holds. Maybe if the Gamorrean guard wants to hide away from the Rancor so it doesn't get eaten, it can shove itself in there and boom, hide away. Overall, a nice little thing to add into the Rancor Pit. And that's it for the play features of the Rancor Pit. So that's going to have to do it for this review of the Rancor Pit. I will be having a Jabba's Palace review coming out soon. So if you want to be notified for that, blast that like button, hit subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you can know when I upload that Jabba's Palace review. I will see you all in the next video.